Hey Carla, I miss you. And today I'm going to make some French bread. And these are the ingredients that we're going to need to make it with. Obviously, we're going to need flour, about 5.5 cups all-purpose flour. Because we're making bread, we need yeast. We're going to need a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cornmeal when we put it in the pan, a little bit of oil, some salt, some hot water. That's all the ingredients we need. So we're going to go ahead and get started making French bread. First thing we need to do is to get the yeast going. So I've got 2 cups of hot water in my mixing bowl. I just put it in here because I'm going to use the mixing bowl later. Save me from having to transfer. I need 1 tablespoon of sugar, so the little yeasties will have something to feed on. Stir that up a little bit. And then 1 packet of yeast. It's going to go in here. Okay, and mix that together really well. Like such. And then this is just going to sit for 10 minutes while the yeast basically wake up from their sleep and start feeding on the sugar. And this will start getting nice and bubbly and frothy, and that way we know the yeast are doing their thing. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Alright, as you can see, the yeast has gotten all nice and bubbly there, so I know my yeast are alive and doing their job. But to this, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. One tablespoon of oil. I'm using olive oil. And then 3 cups of flour is going to get added to this. I'm going to put this in the mixer first. Because I'm using flour, you know I'm going to make a huge big mess here. But that's okay. I got Pauline to clean up for me. There's 3 cups of flour. I'll lower this down. Start this on low. Get it all mixed up and let it mix for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to add 2 more cups of flour to it. So we'll get that started. We'll be back. That's been going for 2 minutes. I'm going to add a couple more cups of flour now. Okay, get this mixed up again. Mix up till it forms a really stiff dough, and once it does that, we're going to change hooks on it, and we're going to use the dough hook to knead the bread dough. You see it's getting really gunky there, really stiff. That's mixed in pretty well. Time to change equipment here. If I can get this off of here. It's a really sticky, elasticy dough there. Yes, my fingers are clean, by the way. So, get the last of that on there. Put the dough hook on it. Alright. Lower that down. And then this is going to basically knead with the dough hook for about 10 minutes. If you don't have a dough hook or a mixer with the dough hook, you can actually knead this by hand. You would knead it for about 10 minutes just on a lightly floured surface using your hands, but with my arthritic fingers, this just makes it easier on me. So this is going to go for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes are up. So now this is going to get transferred into a well-oiled bowl, and it's going to then go through a rising period of about 2 hours. So let me get this transferred into the big bowl. This is a really, really sticky dough. There we go. Okay, and rotate this around so it gets oil on both sides basically. Roll it around. Get it off my hands. Then it's going to go, basically I'm going to cover it. It's going to sit in a warm place for about 2 hours to rise. In my case, a warm place means I'm going to fill the sink with some warm water and then sit the bowl in that warm water, and that'll help it rise better. And that will also give me 2 hours in which to, number one, wash my hands, and then number two, take a nap. And then after my nap, we will come back and make loaves. Okay, about 2 hours have passed and my dough has risen substantially in the bowl. So what I'm going to do now is prepare the pan. This is a French bread loaf pan basically. If you don't have one of these, that's okay. You can do it on just a flat sheet pan. Just make sure you oil it and sprinkle it with cornmeal, and that's what I'm going to do here. I've oiled down the pan and I'm going to sprinkle it with cornmeal, and then we're going to set that aside. See if I can do it this way. Okay. Now I'm going to set that off to the side. Close this up. Now I need to flour the mat here. Then we'll turn the dough out. There's the dough. You can see that has risen considerably more. So we're going to turn this out. Flour on top. Okay, that should work. Now what I need to do is I need to spread this out, and we're going to cut it in half because we're making 2 loaves with it. Pick this one up and set it off to the side for a moment. Take this one. We're going to roll it into a loaf shape. And then it's going to go into the pan. Once I got it into that shape. And the other half. And then into the other half of the pan. Move this out of the way for a second. there I've got my 2 loaves, and at this point you're supposed to cut slashes into the loaves, and it's going to sit in the here, and it's going to rise again. Until it's increased in size. Like so. So now I'm just going to cover this up and just leave it alone, let it rise again, then we're going to bake it, then we're going to eat it. Okay, my loaves have increased in volume now that they've been in the pan, so before I put them in the oven, 375-degree oven, I'm going to brush the tops with some cold water. This will help it get a nice crust on top. If you have a water bottle, a spray bottle, you can use that instead of using a brush and just spritz the top of it with some water. I don't happen to have one available to me to do that with, so I'm just going to use this. Works fine, just a basting brush. I think it's a barbecue basting brush that I'm using. This is going to cook in the oven for about 30 minutes, and then it will be ready to enjoy. So let's finish this off. Like that. Into the oven. Okay, let's bake for about 30 minutes in the oven. Nice and solid. Nice and soft on the inside. I've already sampled this. This has a really good flavor to it. Joseph is going to love this. So, there you go. As I talk with my mouth full, making French bread, not too hard to do. It's a little time consuming for the yeast to rise and all that, but there you go. Hope you like it.